Bioinformatics, analyzing and interpreting biological data. How can we study life? In the past, people observed living systems and organized and analyzed the data from experiments by hand. That was possible because there was not much data. But the situation changed as biotechnology advanced rapidly. As scientists analyzed genes and proteins, an enormous amount of data began to accumulate. It became impossible for people to examine every piece of data one by one. So, how can we analyze such a large amount of biological data? Fortunately, advances in computers opened a new path. Computers can quickly perform large-scale calculations and process data that are difficult for people to handle. As artificial intelligence also advanced, analyzing vast amounts of biological data became possible. During this process, biology joined with information theory. Researchers also used many other fields, including statistics, physics, chemistry, and mathematics, to discover relationships within the data. The field that brings these disciplines together to analyze biological data is called bioinformatics. It is like an alliance of many fields working together to solve problems in biology. The core of bioinformatics is converting biological data into a form that computers can understand and analyzing it with algorithms. This makes it possible to find relationships between specific genes and diseases. It also makes it possible to predict the structure and function of proteins. This raises an interesting question. How can a computer understand living systems? After all, a computer cannot see living organisms directly. To uncover the secrets of nature, mathematics observes nature and expresses its features with numbers and symbols. When complex natural phenomena are converted into numbers, hidden patterns can emerge. Likewise, a computer can quickly process information expressed with numbers and letters. In the end, converting biological phenomena into data is the essential first step. Protein is a good example. Proteins are made by linking hundreds of the 20 amino acids together. If two proteins were compared under a microscope, what would happen? It would take an enormous amount of time because each amino acid would have to be examined and compared one by one. What if the amino acids were represented as letters instead? If each amino acid is represented by a single letter, a protein becomes a long string of letters. There is no longer any need to observe the complex proteins directly. Simply place the two strings side by side and compare which letters are the same and which are different at each position. If a computer performs this task, it can compare a huge number of proteins in a short time. It is like having a computer quickly search the text in thousands of books instead of having a person compare them one by one. This biological information, expressed as letters and numbers, is stored in databases. Researchers around the world can then share and use these data. In the 1980s, bioinformatics advanced even more rapidly. Researchers began using computer algorithms to analyze gene sequences and predict protein structures. They no longer had to rely only on experiments. Instead, they could use data stored in databases to carry out new research. Where is bioinformatics used? One of its most important applications is genetic engineering. As scientists decoded the human genome, they became able to analyze each person's genetic information. They can also determine whether a person has a high risk of developing certain diseases. Bioinformatics is also used in personalized medicine, which finds the most suitable treatment by considering each person's unique genetic characteristics. Bioinformatics also plays an important role in drug development. By analyzing vast amounts of biological data, researchers can better understand how diseases develop. Based on those results, they can also identify new drug candidates. In particular, predicting protein structures and analyzing how they bind to other molecules helps reduce the time and cost required to develop new drugs. Bioinformatics is also changing the way research is done. In the past, designing experiments and carrying them out to obtain results was the key. Now, analyzing massive amounts of data has become even more important. As artificial intelligence advances, asking the right questions has also become important. Then, can we trust every result that artificial intelligence produces? No, we cannot. No matter how much data artificial intelligence analyzes, people must still verify whether the results are scientifically valid. It may mistake patterns that appear by chance in the data for real laws of biological phenomena. Therefore, in the future, life science will require not only the ability to work with data, but also the ability to critically evaluate the results produced by artificial intelligence. Life is extremely complex. Countless genes and proteins affect one another. In the past, scientists had to uncover these complex relationships through experiments one by one. But now, we can represent biological processes with numbers and letters and use mathematics and computers to find the hidden patterns within them. Bioinformatics is the link that makes this possible. It transforms life science into data, analyzes the data with mathematics, and turns the results back into knowledge about life. As more biological data accumulates, how many of life's secrets that we have never known will we be able to discover?